I want to introduce what we are going to do. First of all, I want to say that as a theater group, Teatro di Nascosto, we are not Green Wave. And we are not part of Green Wave. We are part of a group who tells the stories of people without voice. Coming to this demonstration, now we learn the slogan, Azadi! 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 Freedom! Azadi! 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 Azadi!
Left the house this morning when it was still early. I tried not to make any noise because I didn't want my parents to know that I was attending the demonstration today. I didn't feel bad about not telling them at the time. It didn't even cross my mind to think about it. We had no plans to attend lectures today, so we just gathered in groups of friends near the university gates, and there was an energy in the air that was seen somehow restrained. We were afraid of releasing the energy too early. Everybody we saw in the streets, in the shops, in the coffee shops, seemed to be preparing to take part in this demonstration that was going to be the hugest that we'd ever known, the one that would show Iran and the world that we had had enough, that we wanted to change, that this and the next generation would not be prepared to live submissively under this law that kept us able to study, yes, but study what? Educated how? According to what? This culture we were taught, was it ours?
Citizens of Iran, I am here today to thank you for your loyalty and love, for your trust and friendship, and most of all, for the monumental courage you have all shown in the faces of those who would try to dishonor, those who would try to undermine Iran and the glorious revolution of 1979. I am here today to tell you, you here, and those many millions watching at home, that we will stand firm against those who doubt us. We will not tolerate politically motivated crimes, and we are already taking measures to prevent them. Only yesterday, the security forces infiltrated the terror cells that exist in our own cities. Yes, they are a minority. They are like football hooligans who, seeing their team lose, refuse to accept the result. They are worse than that. They are dust, blown one way then the next. We will be stronger. We are a just and fair nation. And although we must punish people their transgressions, we must never follow the faults of our allies. You can be sure that there will be no Guantanamo on Iranian soil. And so I ask you to remain vigilant in your personal lives and active in your pursuit of a free, happy and pure Iran. So say with me now. God be praised for our Ayatollahs. God be praised for our president. And praise God for you, the Iranian people, who for too long have fought the British, the Americans, the Iraqis, and stand up now. Thank you.
no day, no night, pain, nostalgia, fear. Will you get out alive? Or will your crime become a crime against God, and you will be hanged or executed? What do you do to go on? And you think of your friends, of Shirin. You know Shirin? Tell them about Shirin.
Shirin's parents are from Iran. They live in Rome since 1979, when they left Iran after the big Islamic revolution. Shirin's father is a very tall man with very big shoulder. He is an engineer. Yeah, he's an engineer. But now works in a coffee shop. He designed and built his family house. And he's so proud for it. It was his dream, designing and building houses for people. She's mother is one of the most beautiful women I ever seen. She has huge shining eyes, like two waning moon in her face. So dark and so brilliant. She studied decoration, but now she is working in a pizzeria. Even though Shirin was born in Italy, she knows very well Iranian custom and festivals. And she told me about her favorite festival, the Sita Vidar. On Sita Vidar, the most beautiful city in Iran, looks like ghost town. Everybody go out from his houses to have a picnic with their family. Iranian people believe that the 13 is an unlucky number, and to avoid the bad luck, they leave their house and go in the countryside.
Then you heard she saw her grandmother. You know which flowers there are at Navroz? Jasmine flowers. They smell.
Yeah.
They have such beautiful smell. What she did?
She once saw her grandmother putting jasmine flowers in her bra.
In her bra?
Yeah.
In her bra. But it smells so nice.
So nice.
Then there was a day it seemed we couldn't stand it anymore. It was so difficult. And we started telling stories to each other. So we told about a very famous poet of us. He was in the prisons of Tehran, and he wrote a poem. And this poem became a song many people in prison will sing. And it sings about the moonlight coming through the window of the prison with the bars. And he dreams to go out on the rays of the moonlight and to go do party with the martyrs on the squares. Yesha b'machtar mahmiyatucha manu mibares tu yezendun mas shapare ba'chodes birun میبره اونجا که شب سیاه تا دم سحر شهیدای شهر با فانوس خون جر میکشم تو خیابونه سر میدونم امو یادگر مرد کینه در مستی هوشر خبی بیدار مستی و هوشر شهیدای شهر خبی ما بیدار. And we would listen and sing. And another story would come. The story of
Azar.
Azar. Tell them. Tell us and everyone about Azar.
Well, Azar is a really good friend of mine, and she is the best liar I know. Azar told me that when she was young, when she just started going to school, her parents told her, Azar, you must learn how to lie really well. Whenever people ask you, do you dance at home? You must say no. And if they ask you, have you ever seen this bottle in your house? You must say no. You must be convincing, Azar. So she learned to lie, and she's great. I mean, I don't even know when she's lying or when she isn't lying. And this came to her favor later on in school, because in Iran you have to have your grades signed by your parents. And her older sister was incredibly successful. She got very, very good grades. And sometimes Azar didn't do so well and was really scared that her mom would get really angry at her. So she started forging her mom's signature, and no one ever caught her. It was perfectly fine. And Azar told me so many stories of her childhood. She had such wonderful times sometimes. She doesn't remember the war with Iraq, for example, but she does remember that at one point her parents decided to go to the north of Iran, because it was so dangerous in Tehran, to stay in Tehran. And so they went to the north, which was great for her because that's where they usually went on holiday. So she was this little girl, really happy to go to the north of Iran, while her sister wasn't happy at all because she was old enough to go to school. And since so many families had gone to the north because they'd escaped Tehran, her classroom had 70 girls in it. And the teacher didn't know what to do with all these girls, and so she made them write out sentences over and over again, millions of times. And it was basically the worst time for Azar's older sister. She hated that time. And what else has Azar told me? Azar told me, she told me she really enjoyed Ramadan when she was young. It was an incredible, massive party. Not everyone in her family did Ramadan. Some people did, some people didn't. But everyone was very together, and everyone cooked the most delicious food you can imagine and ate all together. And it was like a secret because her little cousins and her all slept in this room and curled out of bed in the middle of the night. It was really, really the best time ever. But then in high school, Azar got really ill. And in high school, it is compulsory to do Ramadan. And so she was really, really ill, and the doctor told her, this year, Azar, you can't do Ramadan. And she was already really upset. So she had to ask all these teachers. She had to go to her teacher, to another teacher, to the headmaster. She had to go to all sorts of teachers to get the sort of agreement that she could eat. And the only place they allowed her to eat was a room on the other side of campus from her classroom, where they keep brooms, you know? So she had to stick herself in there and kind of eat the food there. And obviously, it had to happen in the 15-minute break between classes. And she couldn't do it. There was no way she had enough time to go all the way there and all the way back in time for class. So what Azar did was she tried to hide in corners and kind of take her veil out and eat under her veil and try to make as little annoyance to anyone else as possible. Except we all know what high schools are like, and all girls' high schools are even worse. So she got incredibly picked on, and since then she never really enjoyed doing Ramadan.
Stories, forgotten stories. How many stories? How many people in the prisons? Forgotten stories. How many people hanged? How many people executed? How many people have no lawyer and are in the court? How many people are flying away through Turkey on boats? How many people try to tell their stories and their blogs are blocked? How many people would like to scream and to tell us? How many people feel so alone? How many people? It's the other side. How many young women are studying? How many women, how many men are knowing how to create freedom, a secret freedom in their own country? Go to the secret parties. How many people are studying, and so many young people, not like in Europe. The biggest part of Iranian people is young people, and these young people, I hope they will make the change sooner or later. But these young people, often they find themselves in parties, dancing, singing, and that's what we like to do with you now, to be in one of the parties, in one of the houses in Tehran. Put the music, please.